Welcome back. It's been quite a week in Indian politics. First, senior Samajwadi Party leader Shahid Siddiqui was expelled because, as editor of an Urdu weekly, he interviewed Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi. Days later, a Gujarat Congress MP has got into trouble with his party for some words of praise for Mr. Modi. The question is just how democratic are political parties in the world's largest democracy? Are Indian political parties, in fact, undemocratic? Joining us on the program tonight, we have Shahid Siddiqui, the editor of Nai Dunya, who was at the centre of that storm. Will be joined shortly by Trinamool Congress MP Dinesh Trivedi, who's had his own famous run-in with Mamta Banerjee. We have Kiran Kher, a member of the BJP, joining us tonight from Mumbai. Renuka Chaudhary stays on with us, and senior columnist and journalist Nihal Singh is in the studio with us. Let me ask Shahid Siddiqui first. Shahid, you've been in politics for such a long time. Is this something that actually cuts across party lines and is not just unique to a few political parties where, there is this sort of authoritarian control and anyone with a contrarian view is not tolerated?
Unfortunately, Nidhi, it's increasing day by day in most of our political parties. I think just a couple of parties I can name which have some semblance of democracy within the party, and otherwise most of the parties are either becoming family enterprises or absolutely autocratic parties, and we fail to understand that a democracy doesn't mean just voting. Democracy means, because voting is once in 5 years, for 5 years there has to be some accountability, there has to be people who are answerable to various sections, various groups, and that is not happening. And and I think the one reason for increasing corruption is this authoritarian, autocratic and parivarwad within the parties, and this is also not allowing younger generation to come up in politics, because it is only the sons, daughters, daughter-in-laws and etc. of the families who are able to come up, closing all doors for the younger generation of Indians to come into politics and play an important role for developing modern India.
I mean, in your case, as an editor, you did an interview with Narendra Modi, which I think, as journalist, Mr. Nihal Singh, before I come to the other politicians on the panel, it's a valid interview. You would want to interview the man and ask him questions on what happened in 2002. Is this symptomatic also, you think, of a larger problem with the way Indian political parties function?
Well, as a journalist, I would say it was a big scoop, because everybody wanted to interview Narendra Modi, and he was not being interviewed, or he didn't agree to be interviewed. Well, it is a problem with political parties, and unfortunately we are going towards an undemocratic path, I think.
Across party lines? Across
party lines,
and
yes.
Let me take that to Kiran Kher as well. Kiran Kher, firstly, I know that the BJP has a lot to say about what happened with Shahid Siddiqui, but even in the BJP, there hasn't been a lot of tolerance for different points of view or for dissent. Sanjay Joshi, LK Advani on Jinnah, or Jaswant Singh being kicked out over his book. It's also something that trickles down in the BJP as well.
Nidhi, let me get this right. I don't think that is really very true. I mean, what happened with Mr. Jaswant Singh was very unfortunate, and Mr. LK Advani, even though some people in the party didn't like what he said, was never asked to leave the party. I mean, and Mr. Jaswant Singh was honorably taken back. If we made a mistake, we rectified it. On the other hand, these so-called parties that call themselves secular, self-called secular parties, are actually the most unsecular, because even people like scribes, people like people who write, people who make films, I mean, they have rights. They must be secular about them as well. The BJP has never done that to ban the press or told them to, you can't write. What happened in the emergency? It was Indira Gandhi who banned the entire press except for 2 papers which wrote pro the Congress. So I think that this is in the DNA of these parties. They really have no developmental plank, like today's power grid failure and various other things show. So they go into elections by saying we are secular, we are secular. According to me, they divide and rule this country. They are the most non-secular, because they don't give, this is McCarthyism of the worst kind. You cannot just say blanket ban on somebody who either speaks about Modi or writes about Modi. How can you do this? He's an elected Chief Minister of this country, and an extremely capable one. So I think you can't, you can't do this. Isn't this McCarthyism? आप लिखेंगे तो हम रूट के बैठ जाएंगे. We are not going to talk to you. You are a social pariah. You can't be a part of our party. Why?
Okay, I'll get the Congress's response in a moment.
Banks.
I'll get the Congress's response in a moment, and lots of questions for the Congress as well. But Mr. Dinesh Trivedi joins us now from Kolkata. And Mr. Trivedi, the reason, I wanted to invite you in particular is because you made a very interesting comment only a few weeks ago after your own experiences in the Trinamool Congress, where you said that you feel that most political parties in India today are feudal, that there is no internal democracy and that issues are not discussed. Can you elaborate on that, particularly with your own experience? Because here you were presenting a reformist railway budget that you were praised for, and you were unceremoniously taken out of that post.
No, I must first clarify that it was not my experience with my party I was talking about. I'm talking in general as far as the Indian political scene is concerned. The problem here is we have no difference between loyalty to the country and the party or the leader. Unfortunately, loyal to the leader and the party is considered to be loyalty to the country. I think these are two very different things. For me, I have always said that the country comes first. And in a democracy, if you cannot discuss things, if you cannot get into any kind of teamwork, then it is not democracy. And the very fact is, if you go back to pre-independence, we had Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji, Vallabhbhai Patel, Nehru, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, S.P. Mukherjee, Govind Vallabh Pant, Rafi Ahmed Kidwai. I can name so many of them. Who is a man of steel or a woman of substance today? And that is where the problem is, that we unfortunately do not have any role model. And that is why people who come into politics, I am making a general statement. There are very good people. Obviously, otherwise the system would have collapsed. But generally speaking, politics have become a big employment exchange at the grassroots level. And today, police, bureaucracy, everything has been politicized.
But why are you distancing those comments from your own party?
There are good people,
because
good
Mr. Trivedi,
bureaucrats,
your
good
party
police,
president,
everybody is there.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.